This is softres.it, the website where the name SR or softres comes from. If you've been playing Classic the last couple years, especially after SOD, you obviously have heard about it. It is now the loot system of choice. And if you came late into the party like me, you probably are wondering why this is the meta, so to speak. Well, softres is very simple. I am gonna make a fake raid here just so we can make an example. Let's say, I don't know, Black Wingler. It is usually 2 soft reserves, as in you can reserve 2 items. And what does that mean? Why do they call it soft reserve? Everybody signs up into this through Discord, and you put your character and you choose usually 2 items. This is my character and I choose 2 items I want. I don't know, chose 2 random weapons. And the way it works is that if that item drops, the way it's rolled out is that the people that soft reserved it are the ones that get priority on it, and they only roll against other people that soft reserved the same item. Kinda like priority queue in a theme park. That's a good way to put it. I am kinda bored waiting for this Onyxia to fill up, okay? That's why I'm making this video. Now, softres is a relatively new thing into Classic WoW, and I think a lot of people do not quite understand what it is for, which is a very fair thing. It took me a while to get used to it. It is inconvenient. You gotta get 40 people to sign up for it and fill up the form, and there's always a couple guys that do not do it, and you gotta remind them, and you cannot start the raid until they do. You know, it's a whole thing. It is inconvenient, and when I was exposed to softres at the start of SOD basically, I always thought this is dumb. I just wanna run my normal raid, we roll whatever the loot, what's the difference, why do people care? Nowadays, if you try to make a random pog of anything, you cannot do a MSOS normal rolling pog. I mean, they are very rare. Most people expect you to do a softres. Why would they do that, and why would they go through this inconvenient system of signing up? Well, there is an advantage to it, and it is a very significant advantage. As a matter of fact, I think the reason that softres took off in SOD, it is no coincidence, because there were a lot of MSOS raids in BFD, and when Nomeregan came out and they banned GDKPs, SR became like the only type of run. By the time of Sunken Temple, everybody was doing only SR. You could not find a pog almost that was a normal run. And I think it was after GDKPs were banned, because SR has a simple purpose: incentivizing people to come. You see, if you are a new character, let's say I'm a fresh 60 guy, I can benefit from most of these items, right? Like, it doesn't matter if it's the bracers or the chest or the shoulders or the weapon or the offhander or the trinket. There is a lot of items I can possibly want because I am a fresh character. And that means that my chances of getting something in the raid are pretty high, because yes, it's not gonna be the exact item I want, but my chances of getting something that I can use, that I could use, that is an upgrade, is relatively high. There is a lot of items. Now, that's when softres kicks in. What happens when you only need a couple of items? Let's say you only need 1 item. That's a very common thing in Molten Core, for example, where warriors only need Onslaught Girdle right now. That's the main thing that warriors want. Well, under the old system, the power balance would be that a fresh level 60 warrior that just came in and got 4 items of that Molten Core, because everything is useful to him, he has the same chance to roll for Onslaught Girdle as the warrior that is fully vested in slot except for that belt, and only needs that belt, and is the only reason he's doing Molten Core. In turn, if it were a softres raid, that fresh warrior would be incentivized to take up items that have less competition, because he needs anything anyway, right? He could softres like a chest piece or a bracers or what have you, and the warriors that only need Onslaught Girdle are the ones that will softres serve Onslaught Girdle. I think you picked it up by now. The purpose of softres is to give the same chance, or well, to increase the chances of somebody that is very well geared to get more gear, and in turn reducing the chances of other people to get the very select and rare to get items. Now you might be thinking that's very greedy, like why are they trying to take gear from the noobs? That's mean. Actually, it's not. Think about it. The guy that has a lot of gear and only needs 1 item is presumably going to be carrying the raid, is presumably going to be making a significant contribution to the raid's success. And that guy may not want to show up to a raid if he feels that his chances of getting the only item he needs are extremely low. Under this system, he is a lot more likely to get that item, even though it is going to be competitive and is going to be still a rare item, but he can focus his roles into that one item, and the people that need more than one item are incentivized to soft reserve something else because those items are less competition. So in a way, soft reserve incentivizes people not being greedy, people not taking loot that they need less than the guy that needs only one item. And I think that's the brilliance of soft reserve and the reason that it took over classic WoW. It is essentially rolling, but it is a lot more efficient at incentivizing people with gear to keep coming to the raid. Now another question you might be asking is, why is it a thing now? This sounds pretty good, but why are they doing it now? Why not 10 years ago? I am not sure when soft res came in. It took a long time for soft res to become the standard. I'm pretty sure it was around for a while. But I think the main reason that soft res is possible today is because of Gargul. As you guys know, if you want to roll an item in vanilla WoW now, there is an entire add-on that does it for you. All you have to do is right click the item and it will roll it out. And the cool part about it is you can go to the softres website, you go here to export, you copy this little text, and then in game you just go here to softres and you paste it and you get the list of all the soft reserves. Of course that was a fake soft reserve, so I am the only one in it. But automating this process I think is the main reason that soft reserve became a viable way of doing loot today. Can you imagine manually having to take a look at this list every time you want to roll out an item and then coming back into the game and rolling it out? It would take forever. Not to mention it would take a lot more convincing to the raid to tell them that it's a better system when it's going to take twice as long to roll out any item, and it would have been prone to more mistakes, which is also not great for a loot system. But with the add-on, it is extremely easy to do, and I think that's the main reason that people do it now. So overall, I think soft reserve is a great system. It's not perfect, and there will never be a perfect loot system, but if we compare it to other things that you can use to incentivize people to keep coming to the raid, like DKP or Loot Council, this is obviously something a lot more palatable to the average player of the game. It took me a long time to get it. It really did. It grew on me after a long time, but I think soft reserve is a great thing for the game. What do you think though? Do you think soft reserve sucks? Do you want to go back to the old MSOS system? I do not see much discourse about why people use it. I do not see a lot of people talking about it. I think it's just one of those things that got accepted and people never really made a case for or against it. That's why I made this video. I thought it was kinda weird. I hope if you searched up why people do soft res, you finally found a good explanation right here of why people like it. Because when I was exposed to it at first, I couldn't find any. Subscribe, join the Discord, and thank you for watching.